In Gotham Spectres, one of 4 storylines follows Gotham's new vigilantes, Batgirl and Nightwing. In one of their levels, an item can be found with the description. Within glass labs sprouting out from the countryside of Kane County, the now dominant Rose Enterprises cultivated a strange compound. This yellowish, amber-like substance is chemically engineered to stick and never unbind. Guided by an odd disturbance heard while combing through radio channels, the renegade vigilantes investigated the hidden labs. What at first seemed like another failed attempt at gaining the embrace of Gotham's public turned to horror as Nightwing discovers a security guard encased in amber crystal. Welcome to Gotham Spectres, the video series where I reinvent, reinvigorate, and reintroduce the LEGO Batman franchise in gaming. This is a full-scale reboot. Sketch by sketch, note by note, model by model, we will create a dream LEGO game in our minds, one you can imagine spending hours in, finding all the little details us, Batman and LEGO fans love. This game will put the Bat mythos at the forefront of the LEGO Batman title again. This first section of the series is focused on the 8 playable characters in the story mode of Gotham Spectres: Batman, Catwoman, Batgirl, Nightwing, Anarchy, Ratcatcher, Calendar Man, and the Eraser. This lineup was specifically chosen to encapsulate characters, themes, and parts of the Batman mythos we have never seen in any of the LEGO games. This episode is all about Nightwing, his design, alternative suits, gameplay, and backstory. I can promise you that me and Harry genuinely put our soul into this Nightwing concept. To preface, I know that you may not agree with every creative choice or know how it would fully fit into the experience, but a genuine, and I mean genuine effort has been made to make at least one of these suits really appeal to each of you. I've received a lot of feedback on Batman's designs and have taken it into account. Of course, Batman will be revisited down the line with this new format. Going forward, don't take every detail of character sketches too seriously. We've decided to design side stickers for the heck of it, even if they wouldn't exist in official printing. For this video, it took many hours to fully realize the concepts and features of this character's 5 suits. We hope that passion shines through. With this said, it's highly likely that the ad revenue on this video will be a drop in the bucket. I please request that you consider donating to the channel to keep this content going. I'd absolutely love to continue this series, but I need support. Donating will put you next to these lovely supporters on screen. Anyways, let's get started. On that night, the moon and its Umbra wing issued rebirth. Red is the color of passion, a fitting introduction for a new mask in Gotham. Decorated with a more intimidating form of the Robin, Nightwing is armored, bold, and angry. He has a similarly unadvanced suit as Batman, but with more padding. Underneath the symbol is a thick padded flap that wraps around his body to be fastened with 8 buttons. It adds a little bit of asymmetry that I like a lot. He has 4 pouches mirroring his former partner. His mask significantly covers his face, the sharp corners feeding his new intimidating look. I honestly wonder what colorful, innocent outfit this design spawned from, and maybe we'll find out in the future. You may also be wondering how Nightwing came into existence. What broke the relationship between Batman and Robin in this universe? Was it simple teen angst or a fundamental disagreement? After the loss of his parents due to a conspiracy at Haley's Circus, Dick Grayson became an orphan, switched from one children's home to the next. After some time, he would finally find respite in the new orphanage created by the Wayne Foundation. It didn't take long for the kid to discover the Batcave on his own in the old mansion he called home. Despite Batman's hesitancy, Dick demanded Robin exist. The duo held Gotham under a tight grip for multiple years. Unfortunately, after a falling out, Dick Grayson created a new, independent yet angry persona, Nightwing. Eventually, Nightwing would go on to meet another new vigilante in town, one even more independent and arguably more capable than him. Batgirl's ability to shock the criminal world as a lone wolf has always puzzled the dynamic duo. Not only has Nightwing created a new identity visually, but he's developed a new fighting style. He's fashioned the Batarang in his own image and now uses 2 Eskrima sticks, requiring the finesse only an acrobat could achieve. Before we go into all of the alternative suits, here's a refresher on how movement and combat works in Gotham Spectres, which influences how the alternative suit abilities function. Do keep in mind that despite the complexity in combat, this is complexity that can be accessed if the player is willing to engage with it. Difficulty modes in combat implementation means that the player can have a legacy or advanced LEGO game experience if they want. In terms of the movement, there is now a jump, run, and slide. Of course, for heroes, they need to grapple around, and that's what the back claw is for, which is very similar to the way it works in every other LEGO game. Some characters have the ability to glide. This can be activated while running off of a ledge or while in the air, already falling. And gliding actually is related to combat now, if the player is able to investigate how it works. The primary difference between this game and other LEGO games is the focus meter, which adds a ton of satisfying depth to the combat, but is not entirely necessary. A focus meter will build based on how many times you damage enemies. The meter has a max value that grants special attacks, but will slowly run out after not damaging anyone or getting damaged. Blocking will also deplete the meter unless pressed at the exact time of the enemy attack, kind of like a parry. Special attacks will initially take a large chunk out of the meter, but if you successfully hit the corresponding attack button at the designated time during the attack animation, a certain amount of the lost meter will be given back. When it comes to gadgets, they're pretty much the same other than the control scheme, but they also correlate to combat as well. And now that brings us to alternate abilities. Every playable character has alternative suits. This is one of my favorite parts of the LEGO Batman games, is the alternative suits that you can get, and it kind of pained me that some of the playable characters did not have alternative suits. Like, I don't think Superman ever got any alternative suits in those games. Here, all 8 of them, they will all have alternative suits. These suits give the character a unique ability useful for advancing through levels, and it also changes their design significantly. The aerial suit is a tribute to Dick Grayson's roots. The circus's aerialists flew across the dark red and white pavilion overhead with the grace of a dove, their gold tassels glistening like the sun on water, their blue suits peering into a bright sky. Decorated with the legacy of Haley Circus, this is the proudest and most hopeful identity for Dick Grayson, but in his current time he isn't willing to commit to optimism completely. You'll notice that the aerial suit resembles the acrobat suit used by Tim Drake in LEGO Batman 2. In Gotham Spectres, this concept is expanded further. The suit gives a resistance to fall damage, adds a double jump. You can throw and stab the bow staff into pad walls that can be climbed onto. Only 3 of these can exist at once. Transform into the Acroball and roll around. The Acroball can be used to negate fall damage and sinks underwater. It can be used to enter specific rounded pipes and vents only the Acroball can go into, and break weak walls. In combat, the bow staff replaces the Eskrima sticks, and it will be one of the few, if not the only character that uses a bow staff in the game. The Acroball is similar in function to its LEGO Batman 2 counterpart. It allows for travel only the Acroball can achieve and has destructive capabilities. Climbing on pad walls is also somewhat different. While the bow staff can be stabbed into the wall and kicked off of like before, they also facilitate other methods of movement. Instead of fixed points that Nightwing can stick the staff into, the pad walls represent an area of points that the staff can temporarily stick into. The Conductive suit is a modified prototype stolen from the Batcave after the dynamic duo split. Its wearer becomes a harbinger of electricity, no longer fearing static contact. While electricity abilities have appeared in other LEGO games, this one is somewhat unique. This suit gives immunity to electrical damage. The Shuriken is electrified. When using circuit panels, you can divert power needed for many applications and levels. The suit has an electricity meter, which builds by passing by electrical or static objects in the environment. In combat, you can deal electrical damage, but each attack drains the electricity meter unless gained back with special attacks and parries. The Conductive suit's abilities are very likely to be expanded on in another video. The suit will be highly environmental, allowing Nightwing to manipulate many different electrical devices and systems. Circuit panels will have a small mini-game in which the player would divert a fixed amount of power from one source to another. A once measly sidekick was teased for their innocent and frivolous presence, but after donning the Crucible suit, Boy Wonder never heard such comments again. These days, an encounter with the Bat is preferable over the fury burning deep within the Crucible Knight. The Crucible suit is Nightwing's most powerful and intimidating suit. It represents his vitriol and his newfound confidence. The suit grants immunity to explosive and heat damage. He has Crimson Mine projectiles that stick into surfaces. 3 can exist at once before they need to be manually set off. These explosives are able to blow up a specific type of metal called Crimson Metal. The Crucible's robotic bird, which isn't going to show up in this video but possibly a future one, allows for vortex traversal through wind turbines or up high walls. Within combat, the Crucible fights with fists instead of Eskrima sticks. As mentioned before, Crimson Metal is a special type of brick color that can only be destroyed using explosives or extreme heat, similar to the chrome-colored bricks in previous LEGO games. The Vortex is represented by bright wind effects in a fixed location. Those with the Vortex ability can use the lift of the wind to propel them up a tall structure or even through fast-moving obstacles. The New Age vigilante will always echo the fundamentals of their master, even despite a yearn for rebellion. With the Shadow suit, the hardened Robin can revel in the darkness of enemy territory and fly like his destiny foretold. This suit most mirrors Batman's methodology of crime fighting. In fact, Batman has his own Void-themed suit called Midnight, which allows for similar abilities yet has a unique twist, but that will have to come in a future video. The Shadow suit increases stealth and lowers detection. It has the ability to glide. It gives void traversal on void surfaces and can glow to illuminate dark spaces. In combat, if enemies are within complete shadow, attacks will instantly take them out. Because the suit now has the glide movement, it also means that there is a glide strike as well. The glow ability is actually what is unique about this Nightwing suit compared to Batman's Void suit. The Void itself is represented by reflectionless black bricks that emanate a dark mist. Those with the Void ability are able to enter a Void travel state on these surfaces. When Void travel is activated upon a Void surface, the character's entire presence will become indistinguishably black other than their eyes and symbol. You literally won't be able to see them anymore. In this state, the character can move quickly along these surfaces no matter its inclination. Ceilings, floors, walls, you name it. Alright, so I left the end of the video to be unscripted, no longer reading off a script. This is before editing, so I don't know how this is going to turn out, but I really, and I genuinely say, I really worked hard on this video. I wanted this video to be special. I scripted it all out. I did so much work to compile things and make the footage interesting. Even if I'm not going all out with models anymore, it would just take way too much time and effort. Starting small like this video with just drawings and little mock-ups, and then eventually growing and growing where it starts to become worth it to do entire models and maybe even entire environments if this series becomes popular. I hope you enjoyed the new format of this video. I like to do those little descriptions for the suits and for the amber at the beginning of the video because I think it really encapsulates the immersion that I want the game to have. It's not a super serious game, but I want a lot of the story to actually be told through little descriptions like that. My friend Harry, who helped out with the drawings, shout out Harry, he did the Shadow suit as well as the Aerial suit, turned out great. He suggested with a few other people that there shouldn't be any voice lines in this game, which I think preferably I wouldn't have voice lines. Of course, I don't think that would ever fly in real life, but the reason I say it would be great and preferable with no voice lines is that it would kind of force you to really look at the environment and look at kind of what's going on in each level, where you're going, what the objective is, and reading all of these little descriptions, reading what the little mini sets you build by collecting the mini kits in the level. You know, they'll have a description on them, and that description will actually reveal more information, more story information about the world and about what the level was about. And I think that way of telling the story would be really, really interesting. But in terms of these videos, it also gives a better vibe to the entire experience. I'm speaking as if the game is real. I haven't revealed what the amber is that I'm mentioning in the beginning of the video. It's very important, but I kind of just want your mind to wonder, like, oh, who did this to that security guard? What is this amber substance? What is Rose Enterprises? Anyways, if you're this far, genuinely, I'm really mean this. Thank you for getting this far. YouTube is very difficult, and I really want this video to do well because I actually genuinely enjoyed making this, and I would absolutely love to continue this series. It might be one of my favorite series that I've ever done. If this keeps going, yeah, please share it around. Please like, please donate if you can. That's where a lot of the money and support is going to come from, because YouTube is extremely unreliable, and I don't want to just chase trends. I want to actually do what I find to be really enjoyable and what I'm passionate about. Anyways, thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.